Eagle Owl. We're going to talk about training camp. I got as much camp notes as possible. A lot of you guys been requesting for like rookies, what they've been doing, UDFAs, what they've been doing, because we know what the stars do. But let's look at the guys that's not getting too much media coverage and what are they doing. We're going to talk about it. We're going to squeeze in some stars, but let's get straight into it. You guys know me, so I have to start with the injury report. So Zach Bond, another day, no practice. Devontae Smith, another day, no practice. Then you had Nolan Smith still dealing with the concussion. EJ Jenkins, that was my guy last year. He's dealing with an injury right now, hamstring. Terrence Marshall Jr. dealing with that knee injury. Also, Jihaad Campbell, still shoulder, but he's been practicing, so I guess it really doesn't matter with that. AJ Dillon was limited, and I'm going to talk about the guy that replaced him getting first team reps. And Cam Jurgens was limited, and it was a rookie that replaced him that got first team reps. So speaking of rookies, let's start with Jihaad Campbell. I like to start with Jihaad Campbell first, because I know a lot of you guys seen what Jihaad Campbell was doing, or at least seen it from your favorite content creators. He was balling out of his mind. I got nothing different. I mean, look, he was hitting guys. I think he hurt BVS and he hurt Giles Jackson, but that's a big no-no because you don't want your players hurting the players. So they got to tell him to control that a little bit. He was going all in. I know he wanted to make a name for himself, but Jihaad Campbell, he did a lot. And they lined him up at edge too. Now that was interesting because I was the guy that was saying, man, this dude is a linebacker no matter what. But he's starting to get, those reps at edge, second team. And, of course, first team, he was linebacker with Trotter Jr., which Trotter Jr. had another good day. But back to Jihaad Campbell, he was phenomenal. He was phenomenal. And let's talk about the linebacker group just in general. Jeff McClain, I'm sorry, not John McClain. Sorry about that. Don't like to get people's name wrong. Jeff McClain put out like, yo, I never seen a linebacker group like this. Whereas though Nakobe Dean, he's hurt and he can come back and start for almost any team. But then you got Smael Mondon Jr. making plays. Smael Mondon Jr. stuffing a run, doing his thing in coverage, getting sideline to sideline. He's going to be a special teams ace. For right now, he's going to be a special teams ace. But in the future, whatever we do with contracts later on, whatever, Smael Mondon Jr. is a guy to watch in the future. But he's really good. They believe like there's some teams he can start for today. And then, of course, Trotter Jr. having one of the best camps. Then Jihaad Campbell, Zach Bond is Zach Bond. Like, yo, we got a strong core right now. This is a exciting time to be a Philadelphia Eagles fan because one of the biggest complaints we always said, we don't take linebackers serious. And so far, man, we've been taking it serious. And we know Vic Fangio is a linebacker guru. And we're strong at linebacker. We are strong. So Adoree Jackson was the first team cornerback. I didn't get too many updates on how his day went, but Ringo had a really good day. He did good against Johnny Wilson, a couple other receivers as well. I heard people mention this a bit. People think what we're doing to Adoree Jackson is the same thing we did to Devin White. Remember Devin White was getting most of the starts in training camp? But then when the season started, it was Nakobe Dean, and then we seen why like, oh, that's why Nakobe Dean started. People feel that same way about the Keely Ringo thing. So we'll see about that. But again, Keely Ringo stacking D's. He's getting better day by day by day. And one of the things that Fangio said about Keely Ringo, he just need reps. All he need is reps, and he's getting those reps. So shout out to Keely Ringo. But let's talk about UDFA that actually burnt Keely Ringo. And I keep forgetting to talk about him as well. And he was one of my favorite UDFAs. I got a lot of favorite UDFAs, but Darius Cooper, man. Remember the big guy out of the small school, kind of built like A.J. Brown? He's starting to get second team reps. As a wide receiver, we know we're dealing with some injuries at wide receiver with Terrence Marshall Jr. Then you had Danny Gray, who got waived. A guy like Darius Cooper is starting to get more reps, and he matched up against Keely Ringo and burnt them bad. He burnt them bad. So Darius Cooper, he's starting to like emerge into something for sure. I don't know how he can make this team, especially at wide receiver, but he's a guy to watch. You're like, okay, we had shelf him for the practice squad, but Darius Cooper is having a really good camp. Let's go to another UDFA, ShunDerrick Powell. Yeah, small guy, speedster. Like he showed like some of that speed today in training camp, or yesterday, I should say, in training camp. And you know that elite speed can go a long way. Even if he don't get reps at running back, he could be one of those guys on the practice squad, especially if he develop as a kick returner, punt returner, you could bring up and he can make some special things happen. But he got that speed, and that speed is very elite. And another running back that's a UDFA is having a great camp. So shout out to ShunDerrick Powell. He's starting to stack days too. And I know I've been talking about Montrell Johnson, which we will talk about him. ShunDerrick Powell is a guy to watch out for sure. I don't think he makes the team, but a guy like I spoke about Darius Cooper, you could shelf him and be like, okay, we're going to have him on the practice squad, call him up a couple times, you know, a kick returner, punt returner. And again, speed can't be taught. It can't be taught, and he naturally got it. He just naturally got it, man. But let's stay on the running back. Let's stay on the UDFA running back. Like I said, I was going to talk about Montrell Johnson Jr. He got first team reps. So A.J. Dillon is dealing with the back injury, limited, so he couldn't do the team drills. But Montrell Johnson, he's starting to look like a legitimate guy who can make this team. He did good with the first team. He did good with the second team and third team. I told you guys the elite speed, the shiftiness, and he's a bruiser. So Montrell Johnson, now his name is starting to get buzzed. The first time I talked about it, I'm like, yo, I keep seeing this guy's name come up, and I haven't been talking about it. But now you're starting to see the beat reporters starting to talk about it. You're starting to see more YouTubers talk about it. So this is not no fluke. He's stacking days. He's looking good. And I'm telling you, man, I put out a video and said he's A.J. Dillon's competition. Some of the comments were saying I was crazy. Now he gets first team reps. Now the guys are talking about him. I told y'all, man, Montrell Johnson Jr. is a guy to watch out for. I'm not saying shelf. I'm talking about a guy that can make this team. And a big name like A.J. Dillon can possibly get cut because of how good Montrell Johnson Jr. has been. Update on Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter finally getting on some 11 on 11s. And I haven't heard much of what he did, but it's just a step forward on his injury. I think he was dealing with a shoulder injury. First, he was sitting out a lot, but now he's back playing 11 on 11. So let's just let you know, shoulder, whatever he was dealing with, is now good. So shout out to Jalen Carter getting healthy. We know the season is right around the corner, and we need a guy like Jalen Carter. So I just wanted to give a little update on that. Jalyx Hunt. No, I don't like to talk about the bigger names, but Jalyx Hunt had a good day. You know, he beat Jordan Mailata, who Jordan Mailata been having a phenomenal camp, like stonewalling guys. But he got the best of Jordan Mailata yesterday and got the sack on Jalen Hurts. Jalyx Hunt he's on watch. He's on star watch. I'm going to call it that. Can this guy actually be a star? Is he a guy we see being here long term where he get a second contract with the Philadelphia Eagles and going into year 2 as a 3rd round pick? And he's doing what he's doing against Jordan Mailata. It's almost a no-brainer that he will be in Philadelphia for a very long time. So shout out to Jalyx Hunt. Cooper DeJean. So Cooper DeJean has been getting more reps at safety in those base packages. And so far, the experiment hasn't been going too well. Grant Calcaterra has been beating Cooper DeJean, a couple other guys, but the one that was highlighted was Grant Calcaterra because he beat Cooper DeJean bad. So right now, Cooper DeJean is not looking that great at safety. Not saying he's having a bad camp or he looked bad in the slot, but when they put him at safety, he's been getting beat a lot. I'm talking about Anais Smith when Terrence Marshall Jr. was in, and now Grant Calcaterra. It's just not a good look. And I think you get the best out of Cooper DeJean is in the slot, but I get why we're trying this safety thing with him is because you want to keep Cooper DeJean on the field. There's no knock on Sidney Brown or anything like that. I just think you want to keep your best weapons on the field, and Cooper DeJean is one of your weapons. So if the safety thing not working, I wonder if they're going to try him at outside corner and base packages a bit. We will see. And speaking of Sidney Brown, honestly, he had a good day. He had a good day at safety. He did some things, stopping the run downhill. We know he's a downhill guy and can make tackles. He's pretty decent in coverage as well. So Sidney Brown is starting to stack days. And my guy in the notes even said, like, yo, if Andrew Makuba continues to be out, it's going to be Sidney Brown's spot if Andrew Makuba can't show like he can't get back in or he's hurt, because Sidney Brown is starting to stack days. I know a lot of people not talking about it because everybody want Andrew Makuba, but Sidney Brown's starting to have a really good camp, a really, really good camp. So we'll be on the lookout for that. I wonder if they bring in more competition or they just had Andrew Makuba come back and maybe he beat out Sidney Brown. I don't know, but Sidney Brown is starting to he's starting to heat up a bit. Speaking of heating up, let's talk about Eli Ricks. He's been on fire. I'm happy to see his name starting to get out there more. He caught a pick, and he got some first-team reps in the slot. So they trying Eli Ricks in the slot. That's good for him. That's a way to be on the team. A lot of people don't have him making the team. A lot of people think he's going to be a practice squad guy. I don't know, man. There's a reason why they keeping him around. There's a reason why Vic Fangio like him. And there's a reason why he's getting first-team reps. Catching picks, PBUs. He's doing really good against the starting wide receivers, backup wide receivers. And Eli Ricks like, yo, this is my time. This is my time now to shine. And Eli Ricks, he's doing some great things. We're talking about a guy a few years ago who was projected to go in the first round. Couple things happened. Didn't have the best combine. He went undrafted. But he was one of my favorite UDFAs at the time, and he still found a way to be on this roster. He's still finding ways, to make plays. So Eli Ricks, man, get your name out there, man. This is your time. Get your name out there for sure. There's no Darius Slay or anything like that. You can compete with Adoree Jackson. You can compete with a Ringo. I'm just saying, man, get your name out there, man. And he's doing it. I gotta give him props. He's doing a very good job out there. Talk about Jordan Davis a bit. I know, big name. Don't like to talk about it during training camp videos, but Jordan Davis got a sack. That's a really good thing. Jordan Davis, he's having a great camp, losing that weight. He's still tossing people around. He's doing what he do. He beat, I think, Landon Dickerson, and he beat Steen, but I know he beat Landon Dickerson more times than he beat Steen. So Jordan Davis, he's having a great camp. Hopefully it carries over. I always say this about Jordan Davis. It's not that he's not talented. How long can this last? How long can this last? Can he play 60% of the snaps? Can he do it? You don't know. But we'll find out for sure. But let's step away from the stars a little bit. Or the star, because I did talk about Eli Ricks. Let's talk about a rookie. A couple rookies we're going to talk about. But first, I'm going to bring up a new name. Myles Hinton. Remember that guy? That tackle that we got out of Michigan? That dude is having a good camp. Like Jihaad Campbell, not trying to knock on him, because I know Jihaad Campbell name been mentioned a lot in a positive way. But it was him versus Myles Hinton on second team. Myles Hinton was tossing Jihaad Campbell, tossing the backups in general, like Joshua O'Shea and Azeez Ojulari. Like, he was doing a really good job. on that side, Stonewall and stuff. He was on the left. This guy got potential. Myles Hinton got potential. Again, did a really good job on the second team. Him being on the second team and as a rookie is really good, especially with a lot of, O linemen on our team. I mentioned Matt Pryor. Matt Pryor had a really good day. Lane Johnson, got some rest, and they mainly put Matt Pryor on the first team on the right side, who did a good job. But let's talk about the other rookie I wanted to talk about. That's Drew Kendall. So for the first time, not Brett Toth replacing Cam Jurgens because Cam Jurgens limited, but it was Drew Kendall who got some first team reps. That's a really good step for a rookie. Drew Kendall, he was decent. No, wasn't the best, wasn't the worst. I mean, he matching up against Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis, and then got to deal with Montrell Johnson, who's on fire. But yeah, Drew Kendall getting first team reps. That's really good. That is really, really good. So it's good to see the two young linemen, getting some meaningful time. So shout out to those two guys for sure. I gotta talk about this guy. I haven't talked about him in a while, but Gabe Hall. Remember that UDFA we were so excited about? Always find a way on our practice squad, some way, somehow. He's starting to flash. He's starting to get pressures. He's starting to get sacks. He's doing this thing in third and second team. Got a little bit of first team snaps. So Gabe Hall, I'm not sure how he makes the team because we so stacked that defensive tackle, but he can make guys sweat that's ahead of him, like him and Thomas Booker. That can be a really good battle for that last spot. So Gabe Hall, yeah, man, he's looking good. He's looking good. Yo. Let's talk about McWilliams a little bit. McWilliams. Day by day, he just getting better and better and better. Had a couple PBUs, and look, I like McWilliams, especially in the slot. He played outside really good as well. But yeah, man, McWilliams, all I could really say about him is that he's stacking days. He's doing this thing, and if he continue at this, rate, of course he'll find his way on his team, but he could possibly be a starter in the future if McWilliams gets certain fundamentals down pat. But yeah, he's talented. I want to talk about another UDFA, Lance Dixon. Remember that guy? Lance Dixon from Toledo. That guy, he got first team reps. I mean, he did okay with the first team. Or he got, lit up, pancaked a little bit, but it is what it is. But it let you know he's doing something in the second and third team for the team to call him up to get some reps at first team. So Lance Dixon out of Toledo, that's a good sign. How you make this team, I don't know. But we are, as strong as we are at linebacker, we somewhat thin. Is the only reason why is because Nakobe Dean maybe could, get a spot that way. You put Nakobe Dean on the PUP list, and then you have, Lance Dixon some way, somehow on this team, or that's a guy you stash away, practice squad or whatever. So Lance Dixon getting his name out there for sure. Also, I want to clear something up about Elijah Cooks. I can't call him a tight end because he's a big guy, but no, he's a wide receiver. I had to clear that up because a lot of you guys keep saying, well, Eagle Out keeps calling him a tight end. And I'm like, that's my fault. That's my bad. The dude is a wide receiver. Again, that's another guy. I thought he was a tight end, but that's another guy. I just don't know how he can make the team unless we overload on wide receiver. But you look at him, practice squad guy who can do something on his team. He continues to make highlight catches. He almost had another one. It was a drop ball. Let me just say that. It was a drop ball. He almost had it. And I think the defender ripped it. I think I'm saying it wrong. I think the defender ripped it out his hand. And it was just almost one of those highlight catches again. So Elijah Cooks, man, you know, he's nice. But now that I know he's a wide receiver, we're a little too, you know, too stacked on that side. Speaking of tight ends, Nick Muse. Now I know for sure he's a tight end. Had an impressive day. Caught, I think, a beautiful pass from Tanner McKee over the middle. So Nick Muse is the tight end, you know, to watch. He was stacking days in OTAs. He's getting right in training camp as well. So Nick Muse, man, he's good. He's good. That tight end 3 spot is definitely a battle. But that's all I got for you guys today, man. That was all my notes, really. I tried to go over as much UDFAs and try to keep the stars, you know, out the way because I'm going to be talking about them all season. So, yeah, man, very, very great day for the UDFAs and the rookies getting snaps. Jihaad Campbell showing he's a dog. But this is Eagle Owl, man. I'm out.